Hey guys, Stephen Tony here, and I am back with a new video. And for this one, I thought I would show off some of the films in my collection that are about historical events and people, or feature historical characters in them, or are just based on real events. So yeah, but first, I would like to apologize for my lack of commenting on others' videos recently. I just got very busy. I was also enjoying this Indiana Jones game on my Xbox, Jones and the Great Circle. But rest assured, guys, I am gonna watch all these videos. I'm gonna get back in the groove of watching and commenting. I do get busy. We all do, but I just wanted and so let everyone know that I haven't forgotten about them, and I will be commenting very soon. So, okay, like without further ado, I'll start with the films I haven't seen yet, and these will be in a no particular order. And the first ones that I'll start with are some nunsploitation films. And the first is The Nun and the Devil by Domenico Palela. I think that's how his last name is pronounced. He did a bunch of the Sword and Sandal films in the late 50s through mid 60s. Did a couple of westerns and a few other films. And this was his first nunsploitation film, and I believe, as far as I know, is right now from his filmography, the only one he did. But this is actually a milestone for the genre in that it came out just 2 years after Ken Russell's The Devils, which really rocked people. And it's about this true documented account from the 16th or 17th century about this mother superior who kind of goes crazy and starts doing all these weird and nasty things, and I get some of the others in her convent involved as well. This is a genre I've long known about, but haven't dived much into. Mainly because I was raised Catholic, so it kind of felt weird and not right at first to check out these kinds of films, but they are of the past. So I'll probably treat these as much as historical accounts as anything else. But I will be diving into this one soon. So that is The Nun and the Devil, and I do have two other nunsploitations here, based upon true accounts. And the other is Story of a Cloistered Nun with the British actress Susie Kendall, which I'm really curious to check out. There's also a Blu-ray from 88 Films that I'll definitely be picking up just to compare mainly to how it looks from the 7th edition, which I also will be watching as well. So yeah, it's a sort of similar story. These nuns have this awakening, and they start getting romantically and erotically involved with each other and some of the men who are in the convent as well. Okay, and the final one is the true story of the nun of Monza. Now, I'm not overly familiar with this event in particular. That seems to be more of a loose adaptation of a real life event. So yeah, but yeah, I am curious to check out all three of these very soon. So that is my non-exploitation true life accounts. Okay, next are two criterions, and these are The Confession and State of Siege by Costa Gavras, both starring the iconic French actor and singer Yves Montand. Now, I really wanted to see these because I'm a huge fan of Gavras and Montand's first collaboration, Z, which I'll be showing later on. So yeah, I am very curious to check these out. Gavras does good thrillers. Yeah, about conspiracies, cover-ups by governments and various groups, and yeah, the Confession is based off of the life of a Czechoslovakian government official who is accused of and believed guilty of this espionage crime, but they hold him without reason. All of the names in these had to actually be changed because the participants were still alive, and I guess no one wants to get sued, so I guess Gavras had to change names, but but that's the Confession. It was at the height, of when the Soviet Union was, gobbling up the countries surrounding it for the Eastern Bloc. And State of Siege is about a CIA agent who is involved in this coup in South America and gets caught. Like the and like the Confession, like names had to be changed, and certain locales had to be changed as well, because this event was still very fresh in everyone's mind, and again, many of the folks involved were still alive. But yeah, I am really curious to check these two out eventually. I've had these for a while, just still needing to find time and to sit down and watch them. So yeah, and the final for the ones I haven't seen yet is The Frenchman's Garden by Paul Naschy, who directed and wrote the film under his given legal name, Jacinto Molina. And this is a true crime story. It was based upon a man who was a gardener, whose nickname was the Frenchman. And it turned out that he was killing all of these people. Now, I'm not too sure how accurate it is. I know Naschy was very thorough in his research on things. You know, when he did, like, historical based horror films and this such. So I'm pretty sure he's fair. So I'm pretty sure he'll be accurate here. So yeah, that is the Frenchman's Garden. Alrighty, and now on to the stuff I have seen. Now, for films that mainly feature historical characters, but not really historical in events, I'll start with those. And the first is the Italian Western Thompson 1880. This is actually a story that features the inventor of the Gatling gun and machine. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's about the guy who invented an early variant of the machine gun, Raymond Alec Thompson, who's played in this by George Martin. Yeah, it's mainly just a fiction story featuring him. How he inadvertently got the opportunity to test his invention. But it's very good, very entertaining. Don't expect too much historical accuracy, although it does feature a nice epilogue at the end, showing a little profile of Thompson at this museum in Washington. So yeah, that's Thompson 1880. Okay, and here is the other one, and it's also a Western. This is Two Brothers, One Death, aka Ringo the Lone Rider, and this, as it says on the back, features the real life individual Bloody Bill Anderson. Now, for those who aren't familiar with this guy, Bloody Bill Anderson was with the guerrillas of the Civil War. He rode with Quantrill and his raiders, and was just a menacing, brutal figure. No mercy. He killed without discretion. He eventually betrayed Quantrill and took over the gang, but he was never fully trusted, afterwards. Now, this film is interesting because it takes place after Anderson was technically dead. Him and his group, who changed their names to the head of the Bushwhackers, were intercepted after this raid on a town, and they were all killed. So it's really interesting that he's featured in a film that takes place after he's dead. But this is probably better suited to a what if, if he survived the war, and became a regular outlaw afterwards. Or Jack. This one's entertaining, but it has its flaws that I kind of get irked about. But it is still a very good and very enjoyable little Italian western. So that is Ringo the Lone Rider. Okay, next is Z by Costa Gavras. This is one of the first foreign films I saw when I really started getting into the medium, of foreign cinema. And I really loved that entry. Basically, this is a retelling of the assassination of this Greek activist who was killed in 1963. And it was later revealed it was a scheme by both high-ranking Greek generals and some of the government people. And of course, as everyone knows, even though everyone got indicted, the military came in and took over for 30 years. So, and this is actually a pretty good retelling of the story. It's actually the journalist. I'm sorry. The activist is just called the deputy in the film, and he's played excellently by Yves Montand. Even though it was only on screen for I think like a total 12 minutes, his presence is felt throughout the film. Yeah, and then and it is just an excellent retelling of that turbulent point in history that had only happened 6 years earlier. So obviously, no one's real names could be used. But yeah, excellent film for both historical lovers and for those who love their thrillers, and that's Z. Okay, next we've got. Oh, here we go. Okay, next I've got Rasputin, the Mad Monk, starring Christopher Lee as the title character. I've read a lot about Rasputin over the years. He's a very interesting and thought-provoking figure. And while Lee got him right as a character, the historical aspect of the film, lacks in places, I think. Hammer, I think, took certain liberties, of course, to make the story more interesting. But there was a lot they left out that would have made it so much more interesting. Interesting and compelling. But overall, I do love what Lee did with the part. He channeled Rasputin very well. And an interesting fact is that as a boy, Lee actually got to meet Prince Yusupov. I forget like the circumstances of how the meeting happened, but he actually got to shake Yusupov's hand, which I always found cool. Cool, yeah. It's definitely worth a watch because Lee definitely does do Rasputin very accurately in terms, of his way of thinking, how he carried himself, and just the overall look. And if you've ever seen actual photos of the guy, I'm like he was creepy. Like even when he was just posing normally for a picture. So that is Rasputin, the Mad Monk. Okay, next we've got Nefertiti, Queen of the Nile. I was actually kind of disappointed the first time I watched this one. It's really not historically accurate at all. It tells a total different story. I mean, like it was still entertaining for the most parts, but having studied about ancient Egypt in my free time since college. I noticed a lot of inaccuracies, and so I might have had trouble just sitting back and enjoying because I kind of knew how certain things happened. So I mean, I definitely should give it a watch again. I don't think I was completely fair to it. But I mean, Gene Crane does great as Nefertiti, and so does Vincent Price as her father. I think actually in it. Emilio Nazari, who is a leading man in some Italian melodramas in the 50s. I wasn't too crazy about his portrayal of Amenhotep IV, who would later become known as Akhenaten, the father of King Tut. So I thought they vastly misrepresented his character. Although again, I'm sure if I saw it again, I might have a different opinion. Like now, knowing I should just put the historical accuracy aside. So but that is Nefertiti, Queen of the Nile. Alrighty, next is a high school favorite of mine, Waterloo. Set after Napoleon was exiled and he came back. And of course, the famous Battle of Waterloo occurs. I really love this film. It's fairly accurate to the events that happened, and of course, Rod Steiger nailed it as a Napoleon, as did Christopher Plummer as the Duke of Wellington, and of course Orson Welles as Louis. Really, really good film. One of the better adaptations of Napoleon's life story. So that is Waterloo. Okay, next is the Big Offensive. This is a film told from various perspectives about the siege in this World War II battle that takes place in between Britain, Germany, and I think somewhere out in Africa. Yeah, it's an interesting film, slow in places, but overall not too bad, I thought. I thought, I'm not 100% certain on the accuracy of the characters and events, but it's a very well-made film. Again, one I probably should give a second try with. Being slow in spots, and you kind of feel taken out of the story, but man, the cast in this is excellent. Juliana Gemma, Henry Fonda, John Huston, Stacy Keach, Helmut Berger, Samantha Egger, Ray Lovelock. Edwig Financh is also in this, in a small role. Yeah, not a bad World War II era film. Could have used some tightening up in spots, but not bad, I thought. Yeah, that is the Big Offensive. And speaking of Juliana Gemma, he starred in this semi autobiographical film called The Iron Prefect. This is about Cesare Mori, who was the first man to take on and instill fear in the Sicilian mafia. Now, Mori is a very what's the word? He's a figure of opposites. On the one hand, he was a very just and honorable man, but at the same time, he was loyal to every government body he served under, even if he knew they were wrong, because like he was an orphan and was a ward of the Italian state for his whole life, so all he knew was the government. And when the fascists took power, and put him in charge of the mafia task force, he generated a lot of controversy, and was the only, technical fascist that Mussolini hated, because he would during raids, he'd arrest everybody, including the fascists, so, and that's really why he got sent down to Sicily. It was initially as a punishment, but he ended up cleaning them things up there. But he would end up realizing that he may have just traded one evil for something far worse. So, but I really enjoyed this film. It made me really appreciate Juliana Gemma as an actor. I mean, I was starting to like him already. Well, when I watched this film, but he really blew me away with this role, where and he just does a super fine job. So that is the Iron Prefect, which is pretty close to what actually went on in Maury's life. I do think some liberties were taken simply for pacing purposes, but overall it was a pretty faithful account of his life at the time. So that is the Iron Prefect. Okay, and last but certainly not least is Abel Gance's Napoleon. Oh, what a fabulous silent film. Yes, it's about 5.5 hours long, but there is no boring moment whatsoever. Granted, it only spans from his childhood to when he entered in the ports of Italy, of Italy, but it's still a grand telling. Is really well told, and is epic on so many levels. And I think it actually was kind of the first epic out of Europe. Everything is just so well done. It's beautiful to look at. Just amazing. Just an amazing telling of not just Napoleon's rise, but also about the French Revolution itself, and the guys who initially led it, and of course their down falls for various reasons of the, a film I think every film fan should check out. So yeah, that is Napoleon. And that'll do it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please let me know in my in the comments what you thought of the films I showed off. Have you seen any of them? Are there any ones you've seen I should be checking out as well? Well, yeah, did y'all like the films I showed? Did you not? Not, not, were, any performances that stuck out to you, good or bad? Bad. Yeah, just let me know in those comments. And if you can please leave a like. It does help out the channel. And if you haven't already and would like to please hit that subscribe button and bell notification button for more content like this. Yeah, and again, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.